Vancouver Island Construction Association, that organization, VICA. The CEO of that is a guy named Greg Baynton. I spoke with him earlier this morning about how this project and this announcement about Site C might affect us here on the island, and here's how that conversation went this morning. Greg Baynton, how are you? Best of the season.
Excellent. Same to you, Bruce.
So when the announcement was made about Site C, I almost felt like a lot of heads turned and sort of started staring in that direction thinking, ooh, I'll probably find some work up there. What are you hearing from your association about this project?
Well, it's obviously a mega project. It's of almost $9 billion. It's a sort of a good news, bad news story. I think for British Columbia, it's great on the economic development side, and I guess the jury's still out on what that means for the province, for energy, and all of that good stuff. But in terms of the direct impact on the Vancouver Island construction community, we're losing a lot of skilled people to the north and to projects like this, Fort St. John. So I think we can expect more of the same. That's going to intensify over the next 10 years.
When do you think that's going to start? I mean, from what you've seen of the plans of Site C, when will we see these skilled tradespeople leaving here to go there?
Well, the project's going to be breaking ground, or reported to be breaking ground, in the summer of 2015. There's a lot of mobilization on the front end of a project of that magnitude. So, we're probably talking about 2 to 3 years from now, which is what's really interesting about that is it's the time frame of when every other big project around the province is peaking about that same time, 2017.
And at the same time, I mean, you and I have had this conversation before, and with others as well, the fact that there is a looming shortage of skilled trades over the next 10 years all over the province. So knowing that that trade shortage is already on the horizon, along comes this project. What's going to happen then? I mean, we're not going to suddenly show up with all these people that are going to have the trades we need.
Well, there's lots of things happening. The government's well aware of the implications of this. So is Hydro. I sit on a labor market information committee funded by Buildforce Canada. Hydro's at the table. We're working on all kinds of solutions with the province that will enhance apprenticeship, immigration, retention of senior workers. There's multiple strategies in play. This news or this announcement, frankly, was not unexpected. I think to a lot of people it really didn't come as a surprise. So, and it's just one of many mega projects. So, we're working on strategies right now. We have our STEP program that, is positioned regionally around the province, which helps match employees with employers, and there's lots of initiatives underway.
Yeah, it's probably not realistic that the commotions of the world and Vancouver Island University are going to be able to fully train all the trades and the skilled people that are needed. So you mentioned immigration. We're going to be able to bring in and offer work and citizenship to some people that are already fully trained. They can just arrive and start working.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, the province has made it very clear to us, and our position is that, we want to hire BC residents first. That's our focus. But we still need immigration to help support that because of the number of people retiring from the construction industry and the number of new positions being created, or the demand being created by projects like this.
Do you think this is another reason that some people are going to either defer or come out of retirement?
Yeah, I think there's some deferral. I know a number of companies, a number of our members that are enticing, I'll use that word.
Good word, yeah.
To keep their brain trust. 80% of their brain trust is probably all within their senior people. So they're using them for mentorship, for training, all those kinds of things where possible. Now, that requires some pretty unique skills, and not everybody can do it. But there are strategies to keep people working longer.
Yeah, Greg Baynton with us. He's the CEO of the Vancouver Island Construction Association. Greg, you and I have had the conversation about the wages and the premiums that are being paid for people to go into the resource sector, to go to northern BC and Alberta to go to work. Those premiums, I'm sure, will be in place to attract people to go to this Site C project when it starts. How does that affect the ability for people here to hire people and keep them here?
Well, it comes a challenge because the Vancouver Island construction marketplace for the last 3 or 4 years post-2008 has been somewhat depressed, and we're still in recovery. We actually believe we're in the turnaround. We're in that transition point or crossroads right now, and things are going to change a lot. So to be confronted with rapidly rising wage costs or labor costs when you're sort of trying to recover from a depressed market creates some real challenges for the construction community on Vancouver Island.
Yeah, because if they're going to pay these people a premium of $15 or $20 an hour or whatever it might be to go work up there, down here you have to match that or lose that.
Yeah, no, ironically, the silver lining in what we're seeing in this oil price change, this sort of less than $60 a barrel, is that's having impacts in the oil patch where we have been losing a lot of people from. In the case of Husky, just as an example, I read the other day they've cut back their production by 1/3, which is going to result in them cutting back their capital spending by $800 million. You know, so if you look at that across the oil industry, there may be a little bit of relief there for us, which will help and is just an element of a free market at work.
I guess, too, when you take a look at what's going to happen up there, you're a construction guy, you're a project guy, you know what happens. Before all of this arrives even, people have to build houses. They has to be residential before they start building the dam and the connected buildings and things. They have to build places for them to live, and that's what's going to happen first.
Correct.
So once all that's underway, what about things like equipment? Are we going to see equipment leaving here to go there? Does that happen now? Will there be a shortage of equipment as well as people?
Yeah, there will be. You know, fortunately, we've got low interest rates, but I can tell you we have members right now that are working in the Yukon, Fort St. John, Fort Mac, and they have moved a lot of their steel right into those centers and set up shop. So a lot of steel's already left. You know, when you get a project like Site C, a lot of that heavy equipment's almost going to be permanent. You know, it'll be on site for the duration of the site, or the duration of the construction. So there'll be the acquisition of some new equipment for sure.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on this, of course, and see what happens as we get closer to the project. There are court appeals coming up, as we've heard from Chief Stuart Phillip, the Grand Chief of the BC Indian Chiefs, has said that there will be court challenges. I'm sure it's still going to go ahead. It might be delayed a little bit. Just to bring it back home for a second, though, Greg, wrapping up this year, how has this year been for the construction sector here in Greater Victoria?
In Greater Victoria, it's been actually quite good. You know, the multifamily residential market's been good. We've been, we've had the Target stores renovated. Most of the malls have been renovated. The back end of Uptown Mall. We got a lot to be grateful for, Bruce. It's been, considering all things, we're very, very fortunate. That being said, we're certainly looking forward to 2015.
Yeah, that's great. Residential going to pick up a little bit?
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thanks for all you do. Thanks for your time. All the best of the season.
Same to you, Bruce, and the same to your listeners on the best of the seasons and a great holiday season.